All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the week where I talk about the top 3 stocks for the week and give you guys my levels for them as to where I think they're long and where I think they're short. But before that, I want to go over last week's plays and kind of what they did briefly. First off, we had PanW, GE, and AVGO, and these are the 3 plays that I gave last week. PanW, I wanted the break over this level right here, which would be the break of 325, and it never broke that 325, which is unfortunate because that's the key breakout. If it broke 325, we would be inside the gap fill and we would get some nice longs on it. Unfortunately, it did not have the volume necessary to get that break, and so it sold off with a nice bearish EMA crossover, the green EMA cloud going red, bearish sign, and it broke the blue EMA cloud as well, which is a 50 EMA. So again, did not break out on the upside. We cannot play the long on it. GE, same kind of idea. It never really did anything the whole week. We kind of just sat here the entire week, and the only good thing about this is that the setup is really good still, and it still has good flow. It's actually been getting more positive flow. So, worth watching this coming week. If it can break through that 170, you can go for a long into 171 and 172. This would be a 52-week high breakout. But again, it's not really doing anything. So until it does, it's not really a play that you can make. So again, another stock that just did not do anything this entire week. And last but not least, AVGO, which actually did something. It broke 1400 and it dropped 100 points to 1300. So I had a short setup on this one and a long setup on this one. The long setup on this was the break of 1430 and it never broke 1430, but the short setup on it was the break of 1400 for a short, and it actually went and broke 1400 and it broke with a 100-point drop. So it was a really good break, and this break happened on Friday, so you could have gotten a massive win out of it. Now, the biggest thing to note here is that I think it's still very bearish. First thing is you can see that right here we had the 50 EMA cloud right here, the blue cloud. It closed underneath it on Friday, signifying a very bearish sign on this daily chart. It also has the red EMA crossover, so it went from green EMA cloud here to red EMA. So that tells us that the 5 EMA just crossed underneath the 13 EMA, and therefore that is also a bearish sign. We also have a sell signal from my indicator strategy. So this indicator strategy that you see in front of you has given a sell signal on Friday, and it dropped 100 points. So very, very good. And it broke the falling wedge, of course, with 1400 support break. So yeah, this indicator gives us an opportunity to get some of these plays before they happen. And I really like it because it's been super consistent. I mean, it's incredible, and all members that are part of the private group have access to this indicator. And we used this indicator this week. I live traded with my members this week. It was only a 4-day week, but I live traded with them, and guess what happened? We had an amazing week, except for Wednesday. I only had 2 plays that I made, and both of them did not work out because Wednesday was a very sideways day in the market, and I stopped there. I did not want to touch any other stocks after the first 2 trades did not go my way, and I moved on. And I said, okay, you know what, I'm gonna come back on Thursday and I'm gonna make it all back and then some. And that's exactly what happened. Thursday we come in, we make 5 trades, 4 of them are massive wins. The final trade on CRM was a little bit of a red trade, so I stopped there on the day. And then Friday we come in with a massive 5 green trades, with Nvidia 1050 puts going 100% and SMCI 750 puts going 90%. So an absolute amazing week. Not to mention on Tuesday we had a 300% winner on Nvidia. So that's our biggest winner of the week. But that being said, incredible week, 14 wins and just 4 losses, very consistent. And all of these trades were done using the indicator that you see right here, as this indicator has given us a lot of opportunity to trade. I mean, I could give you just a brief example on our QQQ trade. This was the QQQ trade on Friday. If I can go ahead and find my Discord. On Friday, we had a QQQ 448 puts in the morning, and then on the end of the day, we had a 446 call. Both plays I left early, like super early, but both trades were amazing and was given by the indicator way before it was going to happen. So if you look at the 15-minute chart, again, I use the indicator that I have for the longer time frames, 10-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute. It works best on those time frames. And it's incredible, because what we got from QQQ and why I took this trade was the EMA went from green to red, and then we had a sell signal right here. And then what happened is we broke the pre-market low, and that was my confirmation for entry. Not to mention the flow turned red from green to red. So I went in short and I caught a nice move on like the first two candles, and I left for profit. And then it proceeded to drop another 3 points, which again I missed. Would have been like a 300% winner, but it's okay. I made a nice profit there on a day trade scalp. And then at the end of the day, I did in trade on the call side. I had the red EMA cross over into green, so that's a bullish sign, along with positive flow coming in, which was another bullish sign right here. Two bullish signs. And then the indicator tells me, hey, it's a time to buy right now. So it's a buy signal. Now, I don't follow the buy signal like it's religiously following it. I just use the buy signal as confirmation. And yeah, it was fantastic. It broke through and it ran. And if I turn on the VWAP, you'll see that it actually broke the VWAP as well right here. And that was another bullish sign. And then look at this end of the day explosion. I missed it. I completely missed. I took profit when I hit my 447 target. I wanted a 1-point scalp and catch 50% on it. I got my 50% and I exited. And then this stock goes all the way up to 451. And the indicator called it out so early and insane. I mean, this would have been over like 700-800% profit if I held my 446 calls. But again, can't win them all. Again, insane stuff. Really cool to be able to get these plays before they happen. And all members have access to this for free as long as they are subscribed to the membership. And you can get that down in the descriptions below. There will be a link in the description. You can go ahead and you can check out the memberships, and you can gain access through once you sign up, you gain access through the you gain access for the indicator through the subscription. And the indicator is in trading view. So yeah, you can just use it whenever you want, and it works for every stock in the market. So if you load up a stock, the indicator will load up for that stock using that stock's value, right? So really cool stuff. All right, with that said, let's go over our top 3 stocks for the week. The first one, and this one is I would say number 3 on the list because it's not the craziest one, but this one is SMCI. Now, again, SMCI is a very volatile stock. Let me go ahead and turn off the VWAP so it doesn't, make things look ugly. The VWAP, I use it for the day trades, not the daily chart. But basically, with SMCI, number 3 stock on the list for the top 3 stocks is you got a nice bit of a setup here. So first things first, you got a nice little upward trend that it was building, and it broke that upward trend. So that's a first sign of bearishness. The second sign of bearishness is that you got the green EMA cloud crossing over into red. So that's the second bearish sign of the stock being bearish. The third thing is the blue EMA cloud is a borderline blue. Like it's about to turn into purple, and purple signifies bearishness for the stock. Now we've had this stock go into a massive green EMA cloud and massive blue. So the blue one, which is your 34 EMA and 50 EMA cloud, about to turn purple, meaning bearish. It's a pretty big sign here. Like I feel like the stock SMCI is going to see some really bad couple of red days coming this week. So I am watching it like a hawk because I want to catch the move. Not to mention, look at the amount of selling pressure that it's been getting. Every single day, more and more red volume, with Friday being its highest red volume. And we did trade it on Friday. We had a put option on it, 750 puts. We got 90% out of it, and I sold it early too. But yeah, that's the idea, is that the stock is looking very weak, and I want to kind of catch this move to the downside. So yes, we kind of got a nice move on Friday, but I don't think it's done yet. I think we could get a bigger move this coming week, especially if it goes and breaks out over breaks under, I would say, right around this level of 760. If it breaks 760, I think we can get a nice drop down to support at 700. And that is basically what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that break of 760 to 700. Of course, if it breaks 700, then it's going straight to 680, and then underneath it 670, 650, and so on. I'm not going to expect that big of a move, but a move from 760, 750 down to 700 is like a 50 to 60 point drop, and that's a good amount of profit if you even catch half of that. So that is what I'm looking for this stock this coming week. As far as the long goes, I would need to see SMCI get back over 800 and start showing signs of bullish flow for me to play the long side of it. So I'm not really liking it as a long. I like it more as a short. If it doesn't break 760 this week, don't touch it as a short. Simple as that. If it breaks 760, try to catch the move to the downside. Maybe have a stop loss around like 780 or even like 800. But judge it based on how you keep your stop loss normally. But as far as 760 break goes, that is my that is my short setup. I'm gonna go puts on it down to 700. All right. So SMCI, I like the way it looks. My second pick, this is Apple. And I don't normally like to give Apple because it's not super volatile of a stock. It moves very slow, right? But I like this setup, and it's too good of a setup not to go for it. So first thing is, obviously, we had all-time high near 200. So that's immediately, that's going to be a target. All-time high near 200. Okay, I got to keep that in mind because, well, Apple might go and touch that 200 this week. Next thing is you have a resistance around this 196.50. So I have to keep that in mind. Okay, what do I need to break for me to get to this next level of resistance, which is 196.50? Well, what you need to break is you need to break 193. If you break 193, that's my long setup. And that long, I'm going to use that to go to 195 to 196. That is what I am planning on. So I'm looking for a 2 to 3 point move. I might just do a 195 call, maybe do like a weekly call or even like a 2-3 weeks out call, maybe even swing the stock because the stock is looking pretty strong. And yeah, that's just basically it. A nice 2 to 3 point move to start it off with, take most of my profits, and then maybe play for the rest of the move towards 200 to see if we can get to 200 and maybe even break 200. The other big thing to kind of look at is that the stock is holding the green EMA cloud really well. That's very bullish. The overall purple EMA went from purple to blue. That's signifying price strength. So as long as we stay above the blue EMA cloud, as long as the price stays above the blue EMA cloud, it is considered bullish. But we could see a retracement back down to the blue EMA cloud if the market is bearish. So it ultimately does depend on the market. But for now, Apple looks super, super bullish. And not to mention volume. Net volume has been increasing every single day from the past week. So it's a good sign that there's more buyers than sellers here. I'm going to look for that 193 break to get to 195 to 196. Simple as that. If you do want to short it, I don't think you should, but if you do, I would say 189 is a good area for a short down to 186.50, roughly around here, or 187 actually. So roughly around here, 187, 186.50. I'm not really going to play this as a short unless I see the SPY being very weak, but yeah, it's not bad, right? My final stock, Shopify. And the reason I'm putting Shopify on the list is because it's just a no-brainer at this point. The stock is super, super good. Now, I played this 2 weeks ago and I did not make money on it because I was early to the stock. I don't think I'm going to be early this week. I think I'm actually going to catch the move that is about to start on this stock. So the first thing I'm looking for is the break of roughly around this $60. If it breaks $60, I'm going to go long and I'm going to play it up to 61.50, which will be a nice bit of a fair value gap on the daily chart. That's the first thing. The second thing is look at this flow. We barely got positive flow on Friday. That is the first positive flow sign after multiple days of red negative flow. That is a very good thing because that means that we're starting to get buyers as the short sellers have weakened out, right? Is that all we need? No, you still need to break $60 for confirmation, but this is the first sign of some positive flow. Good. Once we break 60 and go to 61.50, after the break of 61.50, you're looking for 64. And 64 is going to be a very big resistance because it is the resistance, it is the price level right before the massive gap all the way to 75.50. Huge gap fill. And it's also where the purple cloud is. So it's going to be a massive resistance. So basically, break of 60, First target is 61.50, second target is 64, and then I'm going to take my profit altogether. And then after the break of 64, we can look for roughly like 66.50 and whatever gap fill we can get on the stock. But essentially, I'm looking for this base to break over $60 and start heading to 64, 65. Okay, so yeah, I like the way it looks. Not a short. I like it as a long. I will not short it. The only way you can short it is if it breaks under like 56. But again, I'm not going to short this one. I like it as a long setup. So yeah, we'll see how these stocks play out. Definitely like the way these stocks look. And of course, guys, if you guys want to catch not just these plays, but all of the plays that I make throughout the week in the private group, link will be in the descriptions below. You can go ahead and check it out and take advantage of the indicator in TradingView. It is insane how well this indicator works. I mean, look, even with Shopify, right after earnings, it had a sell signal here and it dropped all the way down to 56, 57. Like, I mean, it's just too good. If you can use this indicator to your advantage, just too good. And I use it every single day with my members live in live trading. So yeah, if you guys want to make money, check out the link in the descriptions below to get into the room. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and peace.